Hey everybody, Ken Madden from Ciro, and I am here today with Adam Sandoval, one of the coolest guys around in the motorcycle world. He has ridden literally all over the country, more times than I think I ever will. But anyway, let me bring on Adam here and take a look. Adam, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ken. Happy to be on with you today.
Great, great. Adam, we've known each other actually for quite a few years. From boy, back in the days when you were riding dealership to dealership around the country, right after you had done that huge trip, is when we met. And I wondered, how did you get into motorcycles? I mean, you've ridden I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of miles on all kinds of different bikes, but how did you get into the bikes? How did you get into motorcycling?
You know, just loved them as a kid. I had an uncle. My father didn't really ride, although he had an appreciation for motorcycles. He never really rode. I had an uncle who was a hardcore rider who was, like riding with clubs and stuff, and he'd show up to like family reunions and, weddings, and he'd come in with his long hair blowing and his sun-beaten skin, and he'd show up, and his wife would hop off the back of the bike, and I don't know, 10, and I said, oh man, someday I want to ride motorcycles around the country like my Uncle Wayne. Um, and then just dirt bikes and stuff as kids, not really dirt bikes, mini bikes. As a kid, some of my friends had mini bikes. I got to ride theirs. I had a couple like rup bikes and stuff like that, but I never really could afford much for mini bikes. I did have a Honda Trail 70. That was probably my
Hey,
first motorcycle.
nice bike. I remember
Yeah.
those all too well.
Yeah.
It's cool. So, you know, fast forward a little bit, like I was mentioning before, at one point you spent, I think, 18 months, correct me if I'm wrong, but driving, you wanted to see every single Harley-Davidson dealership in the country, right? Was it just the lower 48, or did you get to Alaska and Hawaii too?
Just the lower 48. I mean, I have ridden Hawaii and visited the dealerships there, but that tour you're speaking of is just the lower 48. It was 88,000 miles. I think I went 14 times coast to coast, 9 north to south. Been quite a few times since then, but I think that was the number on that campaign.
Yeah, that was really cool. And, one of the great parts about that whole deal was, it put you on the map. Everyone started to follow you. You brought your dog Scooter, which, God rest his soul. Uh, it was so fun to watch that whole progression, all those trips, and and just you, because now you were camping on the side of the road a lot of times, and then now you had
Hmm.
not just you camping on, but you had your dog you had to take care of too, and
Yeah,
that created some challenges, I'm sure.
yeah, definitely. Definitely taking care of Scooter was a major priority for me and took a lot of my energy and efforts. But on the same hand, I owe him so much of my brand today, right? Because so many people followed me simply because of that dog riding with me.
Right.
I used to tell people, Scooter's the show and I'm the chauffeur. And
Yeah, you would say that. I remember that very, very well.
yeah, hmm
So anyway, so now looking at what you're doing now, you've got a great website, adamsandoval.com, and you're just about to launch on another like epic adventure of traveling to 120 different dealerships around the country in 3 months,
yeah,
in
hmm
conjunction with Harley Davidson's 120th anniversary. So,
right.
and I believe you're doing this with, of course, with Ciro with us. We're helping with it. You're raising money for the Wounded Warrior Project, which is fantastic. And could you tell us a little bit about that? What brought this on?
So, I've worked a lot of different motorcycle brands and companies over the years, and I hadn't worked with Harley in a few years. And this last Sturgis, uh, they were kind enough to invite me to a dinner, and we just kind of touched base and said, hey, it'd be cool if we did something together again. And this is the 120. And I said, I've really kind of got a cool idea I'd like to do. And I told them about it, and they said, you should do it. And so we started putting it in place, and this is kind of, it's been a few years since I've done a long road trip, right? I mean, I still
Right,
do
right.
week, 2 week trips all the time. I still spend about half my year on the road, but this will be the first time I've done, 3 months straight in quite a while, not a single day off of riding. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
I want to show you guys while we're talking here. We've got a map that I totally stole from your website. Don't tell anyone. But this is the map of where he's going. So
Yeah.
basically, it's 90 days, give or take, in this trip, 20 something thousand miles, 26, 27,000 miles.
We'll see what it ends up being. Yeah, somewhere around that 25,000 mark.
That's going to be pretty cool. So people want to ride along. Like this is a fun part. So you're going to be coming into Wisconsin in July and going through Minnesota, and it's right at the time. Like with us at Ciro, we're getting ready to be at the Harley's 120th anniversary show. We got our trailer and everything down there. So actually, all of our show bikes are going to be gone. We're going to be down there, but I'm going to jump my personal bike and I'm going to drive out a couple hours to meet you so we can ride together. It's something that we've never had an opportunity to do, and I just really look forward to the opportunity to give to the Wounded Warrior Project too, because I'm going to do some donations on my own, and of course Ciro's sponsoring part of this too for you, and we're really looking forward to this opportunity, to do some stuff together. So can you tell us a little bit how you picked the Wounded Warrior Project and kind of what your goal or your plan is for that?
Sure. So, a lot of people ask me if I'm a 501c3 or if I'm a charity, and I'm not. I never have been. What I have done is used my voice to raise money for other charities. So I always pick a charity that I'm raising money for. They vet me and say, okay, and then I become a spokesman for them and I start raising money for them. So the Wounded Warrior Project and Harley-Davidson have a very close relationship. I also have a good relationship with Wounded Warrior Project. I've done some fundraising for them in the past, so it was just a natural fit for this campaign. And I think what they work on is important. They work on mental health. That's their number one focus, and that's something that we're struggling with in this country and our veterans an awful lot. So giving to a program that not only helps with what I feel to be one of the most serious issues amongst our veteran community, but also has the team there to execute is important. And Wounded Warrior Project has that. They've got a robust team that's there that can actually help people. I think they said they have like 56 veterans apply for their services a day.
Wow.
And that
Wow.
takes dedication, and it takes a team to facilitate all that on top of partnering with people like me and other fundraising activities to help generate the money so they can facilitate these veterans. So it takes a tremendous amount of work on their part. I'm very proud of the work that they do, and I'm excited to be raising money to help them do it. As far as my relationship with Ciro goes, what I do is I give when I do these campaigns, I give 100% of the money we raised to the charity. So we're going to do a charity ride across America. All those stops you just showed on the map, and each one of those stops will be a fundraising campaign for the Wounded Warrior Project for our veterans. And 100% of that charity ride money goes to Wounded Warrior Project. So for me to fund my time, my advertising, my bike, my parts, my gas, my hotels, the people to help me plan all this stuff, I have to pay those people. I rely on sponsorships, and I rely on companies that believe in my message, and that really is what Ciro has done for me. They've become one of my major sponsors on this campaign, really helping us be able to execute this in such a big way. So thank you to you and all my other sponsors who have come aboard to help me push this dream forward and this movement forward, because there's no way I could do this without companies like yours getting involved.
Well, I appreciate that, and we're glad to help with something that you're doing. So it is a good cause, and just the level of sacrifice that you're going to do. You and I are similar. We didn't serve, but we really appreciate veterans that do. We've got many good friends that are like that. I had an uncle that was the oldest man to play taps on a real bugle at Arlington National Cemetery at 93 years old. This was 12,
Wow.
13 years ago, but I have a really deep appreciation as you do, and so being able to team up together to do something like this, I think it's just pretty cool. And you do have some great other sponsors, and we're glad to be among a group of excellent companies that have the same kind of feel and goals. So, hey, with that, where can people find out about it? I know you can ride along, and there's ways to donate on the ride along too. So, can you tell us a little bit about it? Like someone wants to ride along with you and meet you at a dealership. How can they help? What can they do to donate?
Sure. So what we're doing is it is a charity ride with 120 stops across America. Each stop you can show up. I'll be there anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. It's all detailed on my schedule on adamsandoval.com, the dates, the times. The first time will be the time I arrive. The second time will be the time that we leave. And when you get there, we'll do photos, pictures, stories, whatever we want to do, kind of hang out, check out the dealership. Some of them will have music going and food and things like that. And then if you want to ride with me from one of these stops to the next, it's just $25 per stop that you ride out of. So if you ride from A to B, we ask that you donate $25. If you ride A, B to C, well, then you would have donated $50. And you come along for as far and as long as you want to go, as many fundraising stops as you want to do. And together, my goal is, amongst all these stops you see up here on your screen, is to collect $500,000, $500,000 for our veterans' mental health. And if we all come together, I know we can do it.
Yeah, I agree. So everyone out there watching this, go to adamsandoval.com, and you can learn more about where he's going to be and when. There's a whole list in there. It's very clear. It's really easy to read. And, Adam and Ciro, we've worked together for many years. We've got a line of parts. Adam's going to be riding on his new seat, the seat that we developed with him. And
so glad we got that back in, man.
Oh, that was killing us.
glad.
I'll tell you. It was, when we talk about the success of something really taking off, and just when the COVID stuff started happening, all of a sudden, it was a nightmare. So thank you, everybody that were customers, that were patient, and you've all been wonderful to us, and it really helps Adam with what he's doing too. So he's going to have the seat on the thing. We have him in stock. So let us know. We saw you putting on the he's outfitting his bike now. So that's the last thing. So it's not only a ride that you're raising money for the Wounded Warrior, and then you're crazy enough to ride up to 1 million miles in like 2 hours, but you're also giving away the motorcycle that you're riding when it's done.
Yeah, I'm giving my bike away. It's a 2023 Road Glide Special. I just got it a couple days ago, and I'm just going to turn it into what I believe to be the best touring motorcycle for me. Like what I would want to run if I was, what I do want to run when I'm having to run these miles, right? So I'm building it for me, what I believe to be the best. And then at each dealership stop, anybody who shows up, you don't have to ride with me. You don't even have to have a motorcycle license. You just show up at the dealership, tell me you care about the efforts the motorcycle community is putting forward on the Great American Convoy, and you can automatically be entered. There's just a QR code you can scan while I'm there. You'll be entered to win that bike, and I'm going to give it away at the end of this whole thing. So on the 14th or the 15th at the Milwaukee Anniversary Party, I will pick the winner, and then I will fly them to the K River Campground for our Stubborn American Rally, which happens the first weekend of October every year. I'll fly them in, I'll put them up, and I will give them their brand new bike while they enjoy the baddest rally I ever host here at the K River Campground.
That's great. That's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, Adam also has a campground, and it started a few years ago to help veterans. You have a special deal for veterans if they go down there, right?
So yeah, it's not a charity thing. It's just, I always try to find a way to give back with my time and my energy. When I bought this campground, I said I want to have a place for veterans to stay for free. So we do free veteran camping 7 days a week. I got cabins, RV spots, tent spots, and it's free. It's again not a charity. This is, if you go to Home Depot and you're a veteran, they give you a 10% discount. It's the exact same thing at the K River Campground. The discount's just 100%.
That's great. So I appreciate you bringing that up. I appreciate you being here, and I can tell everybody the bike that Adam's outfitting, he is picking what he wants on there. This is not designated. He goes, I would like this, and let's try this and these. So this is really a true test of product from everybody, and everyone's really pitching in, I think, as well. I've talked to some of the other people that are sponsoring you too, and they're just thrilled. So it's been great to have you on. I really appreciate it. I mean, you're leaving in from the time we're recording this, I think you got a week. So to
exactly.
Take out some of your time and come and talk with me, I really appreciate that.
Oh,
Ciro
man.
appreciates what you're doing. And once again, tell them where you can find more information about this. And then I will.
Sure, you can go to you go to adamsandoval.com or thegreatamericanconvoy.com. Both will get you to the same information. You can go there and donate online if you're not able to meet up with us and ride and you still want to help. You can donate there and help towards our goal of $500,000 for our veterans. So
Well, I hope we can get there and then some. And so,
Yeah.
again, I appreciate you being here. And for more information about Ciro products, go to ciro3d.com. I'm Ken. This is Adam. Thanks again. And watch online. Follow this trip.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on, Ken.
Talk to you
All
later.
right, bye.